Hey, I'm Aja A, and welcome to Sunshine Haze. Don't forget to check out all the links that I have listed down in the description box, and if you liked the video, please give me a little thumbs up. If you have any questions after the video is over, feel free to drop them down below. I try to respond to everyone. And if you all know people interested in astrology, numerology, tarot, or whatever I'm talking about on this channel, go on and send them this link. And don't forget to hit subscribe. And of course, thanks for tuning in and rocking with me. May this info help y'all live your best lives. Peace. Hey y'all, I'm Aja A. Welcome back to Sunshine Haze Co. As you see tarot cards on your screen, it's time for a reading, but this time around it's not for the new moon or the monthly. This is actually for 2020, so Happy New Year, Happy New Decade. Excuse me. I think I felt like I was getting a cold. I feel like I'm nipping it in the bud, but excuse me in advance for the clearing of my throat. This video is for the Virgos, Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, and Virgo Rising. So before I even get started, if you feel like what I'm saying is not resonating with you, go on and check out your Moon and or Rising sign, which I do have linked down below in the description box, okay? 5-card spread here, looking at the energy coming up for you, or the energy that you need to be tapping into during 2020, Virgo. And then with the tarot, we're going to be looking at your career and finances, your love and relationships, and also personal growth over this next year. And as always, a norm in my readings, a soul message, something extra for you to take away with you from this spread today, okay? Excuse me. So, yeah, let's just go on and get started. Now let's just go on and get started. The first card that you have coming up in your spread, Virgo, is in the position of the energy coming up for you, or the energy that you need to be tapping into during 2020. And interestingly, you've got release here. So as everybody else is kind of going into this this super new rejuvenated energy, there are a few of us that are kind of not necessarily lingering, but are still kind of cleaning things up and doing so in a more intricate way that it carries over into this next year, but doing so that on the other end of this, as we go further along into the decade, that you're not carrying around these energies. So this release card popping up here does tell me that, Virgo, you are either walking away from something, a situation, or someone. You could be changing careers. You could be moving either into a new place or to a new city or state or country or whatever. But this energy coming up here tells me that there is something that is or has wrapped up for you, and you still resonate a little bit, or you're still surrounded by that energy, or you're still intertwined with the energy, or you still have cords attached to it. The release card coming up in the position of the energy for you, or the energy that you need to tap into for this year, Virgo, does say, hey, whatever that is that you have wrapped up, or that has shown that, you know, its cycle has completed, you're going to need to go on and cut those cords. You're going to need to go on and release. You're going to need to go on and you know, move away from and move on from whatever it is that does not excuse me, benefit you anymore. Whatever it is that your energy is no longer in alignment with. And this is an important message about that. And I say this a lot about, you know, karmic connections. When we've picked up the energy or have done the work that has needed to be done in a certain situation or with a certain person, once that energetic task is completed, it is time to move forward. It's time to break away from that energy or that person or that situation and go on and progress on into your next step. When you remain and linger in these situations, in these areas, in these places, with these people, past the time that you needed to stay there, is when shit starts to hit the fan. That's when things start to get crazy. That's when arguments start to happen. That's when things start to go left. So I think it's very important for you, Virgo, to remember during 2020, as things start to move out and, you know, you start to move away from and start to grow out of things. And this is a very earth sign thing. You guys get comfortable in situations or with people. So even if they're not really serving you or it's not good for you, you hang on to it because that's what you know, that's what you're comfortable with. You've got to come a little bit out of that earth a little bit during 2020 and let go of some things that you might be comfortable with, but listen, they're not necessarily for you anymore. That person is not for you anymore. That job, that way of thinking, that does not serve you anymore. So it's time for you to move away from it. It's time for you to release it. Excuse me. Very quickly, the numerical energy on this card is 42, and this breaks down into 6, which is the number of harmony. It's considered the perfect number. 4 and 2. 4 is all about stability, foundations, and work, doing that work to lay that stable foundation. And then 2 is all about harmony and cohesion and peace and contentment. So you've got these two energies coming together to create this harmony and this balance in your life, to form this perfect number energy, right? But the only way that you can get to that as you move throughout the year of 2020 is by releasing the things, like I said, do not serve you anymore. You got to come out of your earth a little bit. 2020 is a completely new energy for everybody. We're resonating with master number energy, so the energy is very highly vibrational, and you want to harness that energy for the good things that are supposed to be coming in for you. You don't want to waste that energy on shit that you're not even supposed to be dealing with anymore, if that makes sense, Virgo. Okay. All right, so let's go into the tarot portion of your spread. The first position we've got is career and finance, and one other sign got this. You've got Urzuli La Flambeau in this position, and this is the 7 of Wands. It's the Petro 7 in this deck. This card, well, generally speaking in tarot, the 7 of Wands resonates with this energy of embarking along your own path. And maybe even, oh, you look so comfortable, mama. Embarking along your own path, and maybe even having onlookers that don't understand or don't necessarily support what you've got going on, but you go in the distance anyway. With this Urzuli La Flambeau energy coming up in the position of your career and of your finances, especially coming after this release, I feel like a lot of you Virgos, and I do get this message, especially for you entrepreneurial ones, for those of you that have your own businesses and that those businesses are pretty lucrative or show the telltale signs of being pretty successful and bringing in a lot of revenue. I feel like some of you Virgos in 2020, you're going to walk away from whatever corporate or regular, everyday job that you've been working and devote your energy into your business or into, your hustle or whatever it is. And even if you don't walk away from your job, I feel like you're going to take a lot less, you're going to put a lot less energy into what that is and put more energy into what you care about and what you have your sights set on. And you're not taking no for an answer. If you look at the imagery on this card, she has 2 knives and she's standing on one leg. So she's coming with this energy of like, yeah, I know this shit is tough, but I'm focused, I'm balanced, I got it. And if you try me, I've got, the only way that I can defend myself is with my hands, and I've got knives in them. So I've got my sight is set on the prize. I have a goal in mind, and I'm going to get to that. And if that means cutting off people, cutting off energies, cutting off situations along the way, then that's what that means. And I feel like that goes into your career, Virgo. So, and that's not to say that all of you are going to be walking away from your jobs. Some of you probably really enjoy your jobs, and this might be in regards to a position or, a stance that you take within your business, or within your workplace. And, just being in this position, like, no, I feel very strongly about this, and this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do with it. And anybody that gets in my way, you're going to have to deal with me in a professional manner if this is in regards to the workplace. As far as your finances goes, Virgo, you guys are smart, you're very analytical, and you're known for being good with your money. I get the sense that, especially if this energy is coming up in the workplace, I feel like you might feel like your money is being messed with. And with that being said, that's really why you tap into this energy of, yeah, try me if you want to. You're not finna play with my paycheck, shawty. We not doing that. And then also, just in general, as far as money goes, this Urzuli La Flambeau card, the 7 of Wands card, with you embarking along this path, along this journey, putting your energy into what you want to put your energy into, you're also putting your energy into, and you have this really good analytical mind, so you know how to set these things up to where you can bring in the most revenue possible. So you're really going to be focusing on setting plans into place in this year for 2020 to bring in the most abundance as you can over this next decade. And that's just a really poppin' energy. Okay, the next card that you have coming up in your spread is in the position of love and relationships. I don't know why that was so hard to get out. And you've got the Santeria Yaguo card. And so I'm going to read this position for both the singles and the people that are in partnerships or in relationships. So I'm going to start with the singles. So for those of you that are single Virgos, as I mentioned when I first started the reading, that some of you during this year may have recently had to walk away from some situations that could be in the romantic sense. And it may not even have been recent. You might just still kind of be getting over it. As you guys are earth signs, earth and water signs have a really hard time getting past and over and working through relationship things and breakups and things of that sort. So that doesn't surprise me seeing that there. But with this Yaguo card, it carries this energy of, you know, confidence and strength, and also, you know, just being in this energy and being in this position to knowing, you know, what you've done, what you've accomplished, and being unapologetic about it. It's also a card that comes with this energy of, you know, a very balanced movement. This is the Princess of Discs. It's the Page of Pentacles in traditional tarot. And so for those of you singles that have just come out of situations, or that are, you know, trying to get over things, 2020 may be a quiet year for you, in the sense that something serious may not really be coming in. Not to say that it's going to be completely just like a desert with tumbleweeds going through it. And it might be, you know, it just depends on how you're feeling. But there might be some situations that come in. And if there are situations that come in, I feel that they're going to be ones in which you're more so taught things that you don't need in love or need in your relationships, as opposed to learning about what you do want. Or, well, I guess you would learn that in the same sense. But with this Yaguo card here, and that Yaguo energy is, you know, like I said, being unapologetic of your accomplishments. And as far as love and relationships go, you know, everybody at this point in life, you've probably been through the ringer in a relationship or two, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, or however many, you know, whatever. I don't judge. But, you know, you've been there, you've dealt with the bullshit, and at this point, it's kind of like, oh, well, if I'm out here looking for it, I know I'm not looking for that. So, you might find yourself in a couple situations this year where that is exactly what comes in, and you're going to have to put your foot down and be like, yeah, no, and walk away from it. This release energy is big for you. This is your underlying energy for 2020. So really having a clear view on what it is that you're not going to put up with, what it is that you don't need, and what it is that you don't want. So people might look at you like you're picky, and people say that about Virgos. They might look at you like you're picky, but when it comes to relationships and you know, companionship and sharing your energy and, you know, your heart and your body with another person, I personally believe, like, yeah, I need to make sure that ain't no fuck shit coming along with this, because if there is, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to mix my energy up in that. So much work comes with having to, you know, cleanse yourself and cleanse your energy after dealing with, you know, a toxic relationship or a toxic situation. So this card coming up in this position tells me, Virgo, you might still be single for 2020, and you're going to be in a position to where you're okay with that, because you're not going to be dealing with anything that you don't want to deal with, that you don't need to deal with, and your heart's going to be in a good place. Okay. Now, reading for the people in relationships, I hella forgot to read for them in Leo. I had to circle back around and pop them in. I remembered this time. For people in relationships with this Yaguo card, before I even get started, I like to keep it real in my spreads. So if you were not into the art of keeping it real, I would suggest you click out of the reading now, because this message that comes in here does tell me that some of you Virgos might be in relationships or in situations in which you feel like you are not getting the love or the attention that you deserve. You might feel like, you know, there might be some things going on, and I say trust in your intuition, and you should be able to differentiate between paranoia and intuition, okay? But, you know, you might feel like there's some things going on, or you may have seen some things going on, and you might be in this position, Virgo, to where you're like, you know what, this is not what I signed up for, and I don't think that I'm going to continue to deal with this. You might be walking away from your relationship in 2020, Virgo, or you might be walking away from what you thought had the potential to be a solid relationship. And if that's the case, it's better to catch that shit early than to be, you know, all the way in, guard all the way down, and then have to pick yourself up from it. So, you know, if that's the case and you were really hopeful for this situation, just don't stress, because you will come into what you need to come into. Life will not lead you astray. You were just led here to learn some lessons, okay? And yeah, with that Yaguo energy, it's just like, you know, and then even if that's not the case with your relationship and it's just, I need more attention, I need a little bit more love, I need a little bit more affection. This Yaguo energy, this is the Page of Pentacles. She is a firm standing energy. She knows what she wants and she's about it. She's about her business. So if you're in a relationship and there's something that's off or there's something that you don't like in 2020, you're going to be very vocal about what that is with your partner. And I think in by doing so, you'll be able to bring in this energy of release to release those energies that you don't want in your relationship, the stagnancy, the heaviness, you know, the density, whatever it is that you're like, this is not it in my relationship, but I do want to continue this relationship. Speaking up and speaking out about what it is and being firm and seeing and bringing about the change is going to help you, you know, strengthen your relationship. So this Yaguo energy is actually very beneficial for you in whatever way it plays out, and also whether you're single or whether you're not single. Also, just very quickly with the Yaguo energy, for the singles and the people in the relationship, this does come with this energy of beauty and of appearance. So some of you guys might be switching up your appearance this year. You might be like changing your hair color. You might be getting a piercing. You might be getting a haircut. You know, putting braids in. You might start doing nails if you didn't do nails before. You might switch up, you know, the way you do your makeup. Might start putting on some lashes. I don't know, but you might switch the game up on them and, you know, impress some people and you know, in that sense, maybe call some people to you that are not the best for you, but you know, everything is a learning experience. But with the Yaguo energy, on the love front for you, if you're single, it's not a lot going on there except for, you know, a lot of self-love and a lot of, you know, solidifying what it is that you want and need. And if you're single, a lot of also incorporating self-love into your relationship, therefore incorporating love for the whole of the relationship. So good energy coming in there. It's an earth energy. It's the Santeria energy, so it's a little tough, but it's not for nothing, if that makes sense. Okay, Virgo. Next card that I have coming up for you, and the last in the tarot portion of your spread, is in the position of your personal growth for 2020. And I love seeing this card here. This is Shilabo Nuvavu Ndani. And this is a card that resonates with this energy of coming back into the self. So this makes sense coming up here, riding off of this release energy, and also coming into that 42, that 6 energy. This card, it's a Congo card, it's a water card. This is the 6 of Cups, and it just generally speaking in tarot, the 6 of Cups resonates with this energy of nostalgia. Virgo, I feel like for you guys, especially because you're so good at planning things out, there have been times or spaces and places in your life where you've really resonated with a very positive energy. You felt very successful, very abundant, and you were very content with the way that life was going. Your personal growth during 2020, and it's going to be in a transformed way because it's a different time for you and you're a different person at this point in your life, but you're going to be getting back to this sense of feeling very good about yourself and feeling very good about the life that you're living. And a big part of that is going to be cutting out a lot of the shit that you do not need to carry around anymore. This card, if you look at the imagery on it, she's in the water. Water is the cleansing element. So she's in the water and she's stripped of all of her clothes. She is, you know, she's bare. She's there. That's the real her. She's in the water. She's cleansing. And as she's cleansing, she begins to harness this fire and this power in the palm of her hands to do what it is that she wants to do, and what it is in that manifestation, that power, that leads into the passions that are associated with your heart, mind, and soul. Okay, so your personal growth over the year of 2020 is really getting back to you, and that makes sense. Although these cards are in their respective positions, they can also be read together. This Shilabo Nuvavu Ndani energy, getting back to you, getting back to a place to where you feel good and where you're content with life, makes sense with you stepping into this Urzuli La Flambeau energy and forging your own path and really harnessing this Yaguo energy and standing firm in what it is that you want and what it is that you need. And when you align all these things for yourself, when you get your energy right, when you know, release the things and clear out the energy that needs to be cleared out, this is when you tap into this Congo 6, this Shilabo Nuvavu Dani energy. It's when you get back into this sense of self. So 2020 is going to be a year of a lot of work for you, but the work that's being done is really being done for you on a soul level, like on a spiritual level, on a personal level for you, and that's to get you into this place to where you feel content and where you're happy. And you know, as you do this work over this first year of the decade, you're really laying the foundation to be in this energy for the next 10 years. And this is a popping ass energy to have for the next 10 years, if I must say so myself. Okay. All right, y'all. The last card that I have coming up for you in the spread, Virgo, is in the position of your soul message, and this is the Amber card. The message on here is to awaken your creativity, but I'm going to read that a little bit more generally in regards to what color, what chakra this color is associated with. So amber is a shade of orange, and orange is associated with your sacral chakra, and that is all about your passion. It is about creativity, but it's all about your passions, all about, you know, sexuality, all about, you know, your energy. And for you guys, the message for 2020 is to awaken your creativity, and I think this is to kind of reawaken your sense of self. I think this goes hand in hand with the Congo card, and you know, I don't believe in coincidence. The numerology for this card is 15, which breaks down into 6, which was what the energy for the Congo card, which was what also the energy for your release card. So everything happening everything happening during this year for you, Virgo, is really bringing you into this space to really bring everything together to lay this harmonious foundation for this next decade in the way that it's going to play out for you. With that being said, amber, as I said, is a shade of orange. It's associated with the sacral chakra. So I think over the course of 2020, you should be doing a lot of sacral chakra work, if you can find the time to do so, Virgo, because that sacral chakra work is really going to lend to this independent energy that's associated with all of these cards that came up in your spread, and getting you back into the sense of self. The sacral chakra and the solar plexus chakras are the chakras associated with the self. So do those sacral chakra meditations. I like to listen to guided meditations, so you can get on YouTube and find those for the free. Work with some sacral chakra stones, orange calcite, orange kyanite. I love orange kyanite. What's another one? Shoot, I got hella sacral, peach selenite, peach moonstone. Oh, I'm missing the main one that everybody knows about, carnelian. Do some sacral chakra work if you can over this next year, and just really try to lend some energy to yourself and give yourself love over this next year, because as I said, you're laying the foundation for the decade, and as you return to the sense of self, you're going to really put yourself into alignment with everything that is supposed to be coming in for you, which I feel like is supposed to be super poppin', because that's what Virgos do, right? All right, y'all, that is your spread. I hope it provided you with some insight. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. If you like your own reading, feel free to book one with me through my Etsy or email me. I've got all that info linked down below. I talked, I think, briefly about the master number universal year energy 22 that we're dealing with. I have a video on that. Check that out. That's down below as well. Also have a pick a card spread for the decade, so messages for this next 10 years for you. Also, I hit 1,000 subscribers recently. Thank you guys. I'm going to put up a video within the next week or so to celebrate that. It's going to be a little giveaway. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe and click the little bell so you can keep up with when I put that video out, and go on and enter if you're interested. And I think that's it for my shameless plugs, you guys. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year. Sending all y'all blessings of peace and abundance and prosperity and happiness and all the good things. I hope that you have a super poppin' year. And I will catch y'all next time. Peace.